Today's Paano Ba To guest is a Filipina-American businesswoman, lawyer, author, philanthropist, and mother of two. She's currently the chair and CEO of TLC Beatrice LLC, a family investment firm. She's the first Filipina and Asian woman CEO in the U.S. to run a billion-dollar empire after her husband, Reginald F. Lewis's untimely passing. Now, she continues to advocate for causes both in the U.S. and in the Philippines as the national chair of the U.S. Filipinos for Good Governance. She also founded the Lewis College in her hometown of Sorsogon City, offering quality K-12 education to her fellow Sorsoganons. She is the chair of the Reginald F. Lewis Foundation, advocating for education for African Americans, among many other advocacy and philanthropic work. And right now, she's in the country to talk about her new book, Look Younger When You're Older, No Botox, No Surgery, which she got the idea for while touring for her first book, Why Should Guys Have All the Fun? An Asian American story of love, marriage, motherhood, and running a billion-dollar empire. Upon getting comment after comment about how young she looks and how vibrant her energy is at the age of 80. It is an absolute honor to have her today on the podcast. Miss Loida Nicholas Lewis, welcome to Paano Ba To?
Yes, salamat Bianca. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, I'm so honored to have you here. I mean, it's a biography will never be enough to encapsulate everything you've achieved, accomplished in your life. But because I mentioned to you that Paano Ba To is really for young Filipinos still figuring out life, I wanted to ask, bata pa lang, achiever ka na in school, doing a lot of things. But what was the original dream when you were in your 20s?
Alam mo, when we were growing up, you know, our parents say, ikaw architect, ikaw businessman, ikaw lawyer, ikaw kahit na ano. Ako yung lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And my father had a dream for me to be in politics. So when I was 7 years old, meron na siyang Loida Theater, sinehan. So that when I'm ready to run for public office, meron na akong name recognition.
Yes. Yeah, of course, your father was a businessman.
He was a businessman, but he was poor in the sense that he was orphaned when he was 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then his mother, who had two other young boys, sent him to live with a rich uncle.
Okay.
Mga very Filipino trait yun. So dun siya high school siya dun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you were, I guess, exposed to different kinds of businesses, trades, things early on in life. And nung sinabi na, okay, lawyer ka, that was like planted na and that was okay with you. It was something you wanted as well.
Okay, at that time, you know, when we were growing up, it's not like, lawyer, ayoko. No, you follow what your parents say.
Yes.
And then my father was also class valedictorian, but napakapilyo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did something to the daughter of the principal. You know, hinalikan niya, nahulog sila sa bangin.
Oh my
so he became salutatorian lang. So for us, mga anak niya, kailangan laging number one kung pwede.
Mm-hmm.
So early on, meron ng values na sinabi sa amin. Work hard, you know, be determined, have common sense, use your head, but always faith in God.
Mm-hmm.
So yun ang mga, you know, we grew up with that.
Yes, these are Filipino values na hanggang ngayon, every Filipino parent, me included, tries to instill in our kids, diba? So when you felt that sense of achievement, you know, accomplishing things in school, you were cum laude, like what did that give you? Did that give you like a sense of self-worth early on in life?
Oh, napaka-importante. Because my father had two boys. Naku, yung dalawa kong kapatid, kawawa naman, Kuya Jay, Kuya Danny, very strict. Pagkamali lang, sobrang mura. But I'm the first girl, okay? Niña bonita. Ibig sabihin, you can do anything, Loida. So he gave me a sense of empowerment. So I think it's very important sa mga kabataan ngayon. Kung hindi binigay yan sa inyo ng inyong mga magulang, you have to develop it within yourself. Magaling ako You know, because I'm Christian. I'm a child of God. I have value. I should be respected. Hindi yung titingin dito, titingin doon. Ay, maganda siya ako, hindi. Ay, matalino siya ako, hindi. No, you are given God-given talent. So ikaw ang mag-develop sa iyong talent.
I love that you mentioned that, yung parang comparing ourselves to other people. And I think we are very lucky that in our early years, wala pang social media.
Yes, yes.
Social media became a thing. I believe I was working already. So I wasn't exposed to that in the teen years. And I feel the teen years, they're so crucial in building, like, you know, how much you value yourself. So how did you do that? Like, not compare yourself to others, that hopefully those who are in the social media time right now, they're able to take something.
So siguro, without social media when I was in elementary school and high school, it's not so much comparing myself, but I wanted to be number one. Okay? So class salutatorian lang ako nung grade 6. Achiever. Competitive. Okay? Napaka-competitive ko. So grade 6, salutatorian lang ako. Sabi ko, kailangan valedictorian for high school. So nag-aaral ako ng mabuti. Todo-todong aral interna. Lights out at 9 o'clock. Pero meron ko ng flashlight nag-aaral sa Colombo. Okay? So sa mga bata ngayon, have a goal. Okay? Ang goal nyo is for self. Hindi yung, because there will always be somebody better than you. There will always be somebody less better than you. You know, hindi magaling. Pero, so, if you compare yourself constantly, nakakaloko. Okay? Bakit ka gustong maloko? Ay, naku, no. Just stand before God. Anong gusto ng Diyos para sa iyo? Okay? So, ang ang comparison mo, are you doing well in front of God? Okay? So, ganun. Imbis na ito o ito. But, be the best.
Your competitiveness is with yourself. Is that correct?
Competitive, ibig sabihin, kung gusto kong maging number 1, di ang competition ko, lahat ng kaklase ko. But that doesn't mean na suplada ako. In all circumstances, be kind. Be compassionate. Kasi, you should treat others as you want to be treated. At saka lumaki ako na laging nadidinig ko sa lola ko, ang masama sa iyo, wag mong gagawin sa iba. Ang masama sa iyo, wag mong gagawin sa iba. So, your basis is yourself. Gusto mo gang sisigawan ka? Gusto mo, anything that you don't want to do to yourself, wag mong gagawin sa iba.
That's such a, parang it's so basic, but we all really need to be reminded. Like, I speak with my friends a lot, and then when we talk about people who do things that are not good for others, they're mean, they're being evil, whatever, and I always just say, like, then let's not be like that. That's the takeaway from that. Let's not be what we don't like in others.
Exactly. Oo. Napaka-easy yun eh. Okay? Because your own self. Gusto mo bang tataksilan ka? No. So, wag kang taksil sa iba. Gusto mo bang sisimangutan ka? Ayaw mo. So, wag kang singangot sa iyo. You don't be looking ugly to others. Yeah. The basis is your own self.
That's such a good reminder. I wanted to focus still on your 20s and 30s when you were growing up. Can you recall what was something that you gave so much importance to when you were younger?
Teenagers, the hardest. Teenager kasi you're conscious about how you look. Ang dami kong tigyawat. I mean, pimples all over my face. That's why, since then, I've been using Eskinol. Hanggang ngayon.
Wow.
Yes, to clean your face. You wash your face, madumi pa rin yan. So, Eskinol. Okay, and then moisturizer.
That's your holy grail.
That's chapter 1 in my book.
I love it. Yes, the reason that Miss Loida is here is her book Look Younger When You're Older.
Without Botox, without surgery.
So this is no Botox, no surgery.
No Botox, no surgery.
I can't believe you're 80 years old. Like, looking at you, feeling your energy, how sharp you are. That's so amazing. And I know that's exactly why you were inspired to write this book, because you get that comment a lot. So aside from teens, 20s, 30s, even 40s, what was something that before parang sobrang importante sa'yo that you realize now, I shouldn't have worried about it so much?
No. Okay. Say natin, teenager yon ang mukha ko, lahat. 20s, I was in college, going to law school. Kasi yun ang dream ng aking father, to be the lawyer that he could not be. hindi siya nakatapos ng law. And then to be the politician that he could not be because he went into business. So sa isip ko, yes, I'm going to law. But because I went to a Catholic school, St. Agnes, which is Benedictine school, St. Teresa's, which is raised by Belgian nuns. Okay? When I was second year college, I wanted to be a nun. Magmamadre ako. Meron na akong date to enter. Yes, yes. And so this is what I want to tell the young people. When you are not sure what you will do, then ask advice from somebody whose judgment you trust. Siyempre, sinong sasabihan ko muna, July 4, dapat pumasok na ako. I was second year college. So I asked my mother. Siyempre, I have to ask permission. Papasok ako sa madre. Sabi niya, Lloyda, isipin mong mabuti. 2 years na lang, matatapos ka na. Finish it, take the bar, and so when you want to enter, your merchandise is in your head. Walang magnanakaw niyan, dala-dala mo sa madre. Kung lumabas ka sa kumbento, dala-dala mo rin ang iyong isip. So finish the law. Finish your law degree. Take the bar. So I followed that. Nawala na yung vacation ko. My vacation. I mean, I didn't anymore think of coming to go enter the convent. I will be a lawyer.
Do you have a what if about that? Becoming a nun?
No, because I think the sense of service, I carried on up to now. So it's not like, ay sayang hindi ako nagmadre. I'm doing what I would have wanted to do, which is be of service.
Yeah. That's such a good story because a lot of times when we're younger, I think I'm gonna be this. But then we end up doing something different. Pero it still has, I guess, the essence of why we wanted to do it in the first place, which in your case nga is service. So if that was 20s, ano yung 30s? What was something
30s, then I got married, I had children. So para bang, what is your duty at that moment? Okay? Estudyante, mag-estudyante ka. If you are studying, huwag yung naroon lagi sa YouTube, TikTok. You know, you're a student, do the student. It's para bang habit, you develop a habit. You do the work that is before you. Okay, so 20s, I graduated. I met Reginald Lewis, the love of my life. So by my 30s, I had a daughter. But I wanted to become admitted to the law in New York, in the United States. Lawyer naman ako. But because I was a citizen of the Philippines, you're not allowed to take the bar. But 1973, the United States Supreme Court said, U.S. citizenship has no bearing on being a good lawyer. So, no need to be an American citizen. Apply agad ako to take the bar. And aral ng aral. In fact, I told Mr. Lewis, darling, no shopping, no cooking, no washing, no cleaning of the house. Aral lang ako. And then I had a 13-year-old daughter. Asked my mother-in-law to take care of her for 3 months. Ayun, aral. Why? Because I want to pass the bar without taking... I don't want to fail. Isang beses lang. If I fail, that's it. So, aral na mabuti. So, yung mga nakikinig, you know, whatever is in front of you, whether it's a job that you have, do the best. Okay? Pag-aralan yung mabuti, sasabihin mo, secretary lang ako. So what? In fact, I was a secretary because I did not pass the bar in a poverty law firm. Ang unang salary ko is as a secretary. But I was doing the work of a lawyer. So I had to negotiate with my boss. After 1 year, these are all the cases I handled. I want this, et cetera, et cetera. So give me a higher salary. I negotiated. So by the 3rd year, my salary was equal to a lawyer. But I was just administrative assistant. So yung mga nakikinig, alamin nyo ang worth nyo. And then negotiate. Ay, nakihiya ako. Ba't ka mahihiya? Sarili mong, it's for your own good. And you know you deserve it. So negotiate.
Gosh, that's such a problem of many Pinoys. I don't know if it's cultural, but parang yung feeling na nahihiya to stand up for what they feel is right for them. Or to your point when you said na you deserve it. A lot of people feel kasi, I don't deserve it naman.
Cultural. Cultural. Ewan ko kung ano. I don't know. Maybe it's because we are Christian, you know. Do not let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Yung mga ganon. I think. But if you're in America, even here, all right, just timing lang. Okay? And identify kung sino sa inyong corporation who would like to be your mentor. Okay? And choose somebody na merong wisdom, merong fairness, may sense of justice. Yun. And tell, can I be your mentee? Can you be my mentor? So tuturuan ka. Because, in the corporate world, in any place you have, there will be somebody who is full of wisdom. Yun ang ask him to be your or her to be your mentor.
Yeah. And I found that a lot of those people that we look up to, they are willing to share their wisdom, their lessons learned, their mistakes they did, and they're willing to pass on the wisdom talaga.
Yes, but you have to ask. Okay? Ano ba yun? Something said is something heard. You never ask, they'll never know. Okay, so, and if they're too busy, they'll tell you, and then maybe they'll refer you, ay, huwag na lang ako, yun. May time yun. Or something, whatever. But you have to ask. Yeah, tayong mga Pilipino nga, Kimi. But kung magaling ka, kung alam mo, a job comes around, medyo mataas, and you want it, huwag mo sasabihin, hindi ko kaya. Kaya nyo. You learn the job as you go along. At saka kung hindi mo alam, di mag-aral ka. Di ba? Oo. At saka magaling tayo. Pinoy tayo. Kaya natin.
I love that mindset. You learn the job as you come along. Because that's right. When you first step in, day one, even if you think, you have no idea also. And it's fine-tuning every day na, oh, okay, maybe I should do more this. Oh, this is what I should learn more of.
Yes.
That's so encouraging.
Of course. Nobody, even the president of a company, nobody has ever become president. Wala siyang experience to be president. But he can learn from good presidents. He can study, he can learn. I mean, ang daming mga libro dyan. At saka, he can identify, magaling na presidente yun, anong ginawa niya. Yeah. So, ganun lang. Hindi lang ganun. It's study. Walang shortcut to success. Walang shortcut. If you want a shortcut, you might break the rule. You will, eventually, it will get back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about social media kanina, and there is this idea planted in us when we grow up that, when I achieve this, I'll be happy. When I have this, I'll be happy. Now, at 80, what have you learned about happiness? What is your take on that?
I will have to quote St. John of the Cross. At the end of life, we will be judged by how we love. So, at the end of life, alaki ng aking bank accounting to, that will not make you happy. Okay? It's how you have dealt with other people. How you have loved other people. And how you have loved God. At the end of life, yun ang tunay judgment sa iyo. So ngayon, of course you have ambition. Yes, do it. But that doesn't mean na marami kang pera, masaya ka. No, kumisan nga, yung maraming pera,
maraming problema.
Mas maraming problema, mas maraming tragedy. So it's not the riches. It's not the accomplishment. Okay? It's really how you feel about yourself in front of God.
Because you were working so much, achieving so much, and then you got married, had daughters, ran the business, etc., etc. When did you feel that happiness, or that there was no chase anymore for happiness?
No, it's not so much I want to be happy, I want to have a fulfilled life. So every morning, I have so many things to do. So in other words, you have a right to choose to be sad because you compared yourself, or to be joyful. And we have all reasons to be joyful. Parte na dyan, you plan your own financial life. Yung sweldo mo, 1,000 pesos. Ang gasto mo, 1,020 pesos. You'll never make it. Okay, so isipin mo na lang. Negative. So financially, plan your life. Anong kailangan mo? Plan your life for the next 5 years. Parang ganon. O kaya, just for this year, 2026, what do you want to accomplish in 2026? Sulat mo. And then I journal also. Okay? And then I check. I want to read 10 books a year. Okay? And for this year, I have a special goal, which is to get America to put money for the PAGA, Filipino American Guardian Association. This was planned 105 years ago by the United States Governor General Leonard Wood because for 50 years we were under the Americans. Di ba? Okay. And because the military men are here, nagkakaanak, anak sa labas, and then they leave, abandoned children. So 1921, meron ng Governor General na sabi, okay, I recognize this, kailangan merong organization sila. Ngayon, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, we will give 250 million to the Philippines for humanitarian. Humanitarian, hindi defense. So sabi ko, 10% of that should be given to PAGA, who has been taking care of children of U.S. military men who are abandoned. Abandoned itong mga batang ito. Hindi sila kinikilala ng kanilang tatay. Because once they're acknowledged, they have financial help from the U.S. Defense. But if they're not recognized, kawawang-kawawa. And so America should recognize this. It's high time. 80 years na tayong merong U.S.-Philippine relationship. Okay? Kailangan bigyan sila ng itong paga ng 25 million for education. Yeah.
This is one of your projects right
This
now.
is my project for 2026.
Yeah. Oh my. I mean, the list of advocacies, again, that you have is so inspiring. And I guess, like, as cliche as it may sound, diba, they say with greater responsibility is also greater, like, responsibility to the world. Greater blessings, greater responsibility to the world. And that's definitely what you're doing.
Spider-Man.
Yes. I wanted to touch on finances. Because here on Paano Ba To, yan ang problema for the past 10 years na isinusulat. It's so hard to take hold of finances, to take charge, to manage it well, especially in an economy like this in the Philippines. Oh my gosh, any like financial advice you can give, especially to young women listening to this?
Okay. So sa akin, ang sweldo mo, hindi 100% na gagastos. Laging 10% of that, don't touch it. Okay? Invest it. Paano mag-invest? Di mag-aral. Okay? Ask your bank. I'd like to, and then plan. Gusto mo sa 1 taon o sa 5 taon, you want to find a house or build a house. Invest in a house, invest in the stock market. So pag-aralan mo, how? Merong isang libro, How to Get Rich. No, it's very simple. Buy that. O kaya, sa internet, how to become a millionaire. Ganoon. Pag-aralan. At saka yun nga, learn how to invest in the stock market. Pareho ni Warren Buffett. Kung hindi mo naiintindihan, huwag kang mag-invest. So, intindihin mo. Mm-hmm. So, ang ibig kong sabihin for the young people, 10% hindi sa iyo, para sa iyong future. So, paano? 900 lamang ito. Di budget mo yung 900. Huwag kang pupunta sa sine araw-araw o huwag kang bili dito, bili doon. Ay, gusto ko yan. No, budget. Yeah. Have the discipline. Okay? And in 7 years, if you invest it and you earn 7%, magdodoble yon in 7 years. Ganon. So for the young people, budget. Paano? Lahat sila pupunta dito, pupunta doon. Okay lang. Sige, punta kayo doon. At the end of a year, meron akong pera, kayo wala.
Tama.
Hindi ba?
No, it's definitely investing in your future self. That's a mindset shift that also changed a lot for me. But I noticed that you said invest and not save.
No, save. But dahil sa 1% lang sa savings account, 2%, that's too small. That will not give you, a nest egg for the future.
But here in the Philippines kasi di ba lagi, mag-ipon. Parang we grew up with that mentality. But it was only when I was older na, ibang-iba pala yung invest.
Yes, iba yung mag-ipon, ilalagay mo sa deposit, savings bank. Don't. Ang liit-liit ng kita, invest. If you understand, pareho ngayon, ang daming mga magagaling na company, public company dito sa Amerika, tignan na lang nyo. Ang dami ng BDO. Okay? Ang dami ng mercury drug. You just look around, makikita nyo, some companies are very good. Pag-aralan nyo. And then you invest 100 pesos, ganon. At kalimutan na yon. Don't spend it anywhere. Okay? If you want to be middle class, find a job, any job. Okay? Don't get separated. Wala dito kasing divorce eh. But if you get separated, ayan, separate na yung iyong income. And then learn to budget.
Noted. Hirap na learn to budget, We've been talking about like a lot of Filipino beliefs kasi madami talaga yan, di ba? Passed on from generations, things we hear every day, repeated to us. So talagang naka-ingrained. But you are in such a unique position because you are deeply rooted in your Filipino values, yet you have a global worldview. And so I wanted to ask your insight or take on these deeply Filipino beliefs. First, utang na loob.
Utang na loob, sense of gratitude.
Yes.
Right? Of course, mabuti yun. Pero, utang na loob sa nanay at tatay mo, gusto nilang magdoktor ka. Ayaw mo magdoktor. When you say, ayaw magdoktor sa puso ko, it's not that you have no sense of gratitude in them. You have to follow your own heart. Okay? Utang na loob because this person has been giving you money, etc., doing this, doing that. Katapos, he's married. He wants you to go to bed with him. Tanga ka ba? Okay? Utang na loob. So you go to bed with... Ang ibig yung sabihin, use your head. Meron tayong common sense. Okay? So, utang na loob is good. Be grateful. Be grateful to God. Be grateful to those who give you, who help you. Say thank you. Lagi. Salamat. Salamat po. Thank you. Okay. But, in the end, you have to protect yourself. Okay? Use your head. Lalo na yung mga kababaihan na nakikinig sa akin. Okay? Huwag kayong tanga. Ibig sabihin, mahal kikaw. Pero nialapastangan ka, you're hit here and there. Why are you staying in that setting?
Oh my gosh.
Paano? Ang dami niyang binibigay sa akin. Loka ka. Loka ka ba? Is that what you want for yourself?
Yeah.
Things? Pero, may black eye ka naman. Okay. In other words, okay, stay close to God because God will tell you, tama yan, di tama yan. But be grateful.
Yeah. There are certain instances kasi that utang na loob is used by the one na merong kang utang na loob to sort of guilt trip the person into like, no, you still have to do these things for me. You are indebted to me. How does a person get out of that guilt pag ganon?
Yes. Hindi guilt yun. Ano na yun? Taking advantage na yun. You're being taken advantage of. So, malalaman mo yan if you are walking the right way. O kaya, tanong mo mga kaibigan mo, ito si ganon. Oo, Loida. Okay? Internet. They will tell you because they are your friends. They love you. They're taking advantage of you. So, hindi lamang yung utak mo. Ask those who care about you and they let you know.
Yeah. The next Filipino belief, bahala na. Let
Bahala
God
na.
take care of it.
Bathala.
Yes.
Okay? Exam. Alright? Naroon ka, nagna-night club, nagdiginto-ganto. Exam mo na. Bahala na. Mali yun. Bahala means, nasa tao ang gawa, nasa Diyos ang awa. So you study to study. And then, take the test. In that sense, bahala ng Diyos. But I'll do because you've studied already. Yun ang bahala na. Bahala na means you've done your work, God will do the rest.
Yeah. There's this fatalistic view sometimes, di ba, na okay, whatever happens, that's God's will for me. That it turns people to a point sometimes of hindi naman giving up, but like surrendering, but in a way that hindi na sila lumalaban kasi si God na nga yung bahala sa kanila.
Mali din yata yun. In the sense na, alam mo, mali ang nangyayari sa iyo, pero you are not doing anything to counter that. Okay? So, in a way, it's a form of laziness or lack of will na pinapabayaan mo something happening to you na alam mo mali. Bahala na ang Diyos. No! You have to take care of yourself. Dahil sa God gave you the intelligence, God gave you whatever it is to stand for yourself. So hindi, pareho nga yun. May exam ka, merong project sa eskwela mo. Okay? Nag-night club ka. Bahala ng Diyos. No! Hindi bahala ka, hindi mo ginawa yung assignment. Hindi mo ginawa yung project. So don't blame it on God. Blame it on yourself.
You do a lot of projects here in the Philippines and it seems like we all try to not lose hope, 'di ba? Even if sometimes parang ang hopeless na, ang helpless na, when there are young people who are feeling hopeless about our situation here. Like, what is something you can tell them?
Start what is best for the Philippines. Organize your group. Start registering to vote. Because I think 80% yata ng young people are registered voter. Bumoto. 80%. So you decide the country. Anyone under 30, you are deciding what the Philippines will be. But if you are not organized, party ng party, TikTok, or whatever, then you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. Sabi nga ni Rizal, the hope of the Philippines are the youth. So, these are the people who will be 21 ba dito? 18 to vote.
18, yes.
18, those who are going to be 18 by 2028, mag-organize na kayo. In your barrio, in your town, in your municipality, organize kayo. You choose. Yeah, that's the choice of 2028.
Yeah. Good luck.
Huh? Good luck sa mga Pilipino, to the young people who are under 80.
Yeah.
I mean, under 30.
Yeah.
Ito ay ang inyong bayan, Philippines. Hindi kayo pupunta sa Amerika o kung saan man. Alagaan ninyo. Kayo ang pag-asa ng bayan. So, register and vote and organize.
Yeah. As early as now. Actually,
Now.
nga early Parang, middle
14,
battle.
kahit na 14, 15, 16-year-old, hindi ka makaboto.
Yeah.
Kausapin mo ang mga nanay mo, tiyo mo, tita, lolo, lola, pinsan. Okay? Isipin mo, make a choice now.
With that, we'll shift gears and talk about your book. A lot of lessons on, I think, life. It may have a title that is about looks, but it is so much more than that. It's about longevity. It's about living well. And I have to admit, when we're in our 20s, even 30s, the height of our energy, the height of our collagen, ganyan, it's not things we think about. So when did you start to think about really taking care of yourself and being in it for the long haul, for longevity?
When we moved to Paris, because I was working, I had 2 children. Mr. Lewis was, go, get. And I was also, I was so busy. But when he bought Beatrice International, he was the first African-American to create $1 billion empire. So I quit my job with INS, with immigration. We moved to Paris and I had time. And so that's the first time I went to the gym. Okay?
And
learned.
What age were you then?
45.
Okay.
Yes.
First time
I went to a gym. I was too busy. I was a nerd in high school. I never want to play volleyball. A cheerleader lang ako, but not. So I had time. And then I started to be conscious because Mr. Lewis had a high profile. Kailangan I'm good looking. So he would buy clothes for me, Paris clothes, etc. So I knew that I had a certain role to play. So I started, and then I started to go to, they will teach you how to make up and all that, okay? And careful of my weight because he bought me expensive clothes. Tung bumaba ako, hindi ko na magagamit. Sayang, ang mahal-mahal pa naman. So that's when I really started looking after myself. But the real, para bang, okay, ito na. When I took over, because Mr. Lewis died, and the company was going nowhere, just in the red. So I decided after mourning, I got out of, meaning nagbaba na ako ng luksa. And then I decided na I better take over dahil this is his business. He spent his life to create wealth for the family. So then I knew I'll be on center stage. So kailangan marunong. Marunong mag-ayos, maganda ang baro, and I know how to speak with a little less Filipino accent, and know how to talk to people. To give speeches, parang ganon. Okay, so that's my my waking up.
Of course, you have 2 daughters. What, I guess, did you impart to them naman about taking care of themselves? Kasi feeling ko, parang it's such a new thing. Like now, I'm very conscious. I have 2 daughters as well. They are
Okay.
10 and 7. So now I'm already teaching them everything. Hygiene, puberty dun sa isa. But like, what did you teach your daughters specifically about self-care?
Self-care, I think, what I learned. Okay? Every evening, brush your teeth, wash your face, ganon, bath every day, parang ganon. But the most important is teaching them values. Okay, values of hard work, values of doing your job. I mean, their father and I work hard, but they have to work hard in their work. Hindi naman sila nagtatrabaho, they're students. So you work hard, Monday to Thursday, no television. They were now today, and that's what my daughter, no gadgets,
Yeah.
no gadgets. And only a certain time, after lunch, pwede. And ano pa ba? For my 2 daughters, okay, respect your elders, meaning me, wag nila akong sisigawan. Okay, that's why Mr. Lewis was very strict on that. Respect your and do your work. And so both my daughters graduated from Harvard cum laude.
Yes, I read
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yes.
I can imagine, iba yung pride mo of like graduating cum laude and even passing the bar in the US. Iba when it's your kids. Oh my God.
Yes. You have to, of course, you give them whatever, you give them the luxuries of life. But over and beyond that, you have to teach them values. Because what good is it if you have all the money in the world, but they are masungit, or they are, what they call, not generous. They're not kind. Baliwala yung pera. So you have to teach them values. That's your legacy to your 2 daughters. Yes. And they have to respect themselves.
That's the crossroad that my husband and I are in now. Because of course, when they're younger, that's not really an issue yet. But when you cross tweens and teens, it's more about, diba, autonomy over your body. So that's something we are navigating now. How do you even teach that to your kids?
Well, they can see it from you. Okay, so you cannot really control how they wear it, but they can teach from you. And you have to say, of course, but it's up to them to follow. Kasi sabi nga sa akin, something said is something heard. If you never told them, they never heard it. But tell them once. Okay? Don't give up the merchandise.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. One thing I wanted to ask you about was, as we age, one thing I've learned is that beauty, yes, it is physical. We can do everything to take care of ourselves, but the peace and happiness, or peace and joy within, that's where the true beauty comes out. And I think more and more young Pinoys in their 20s and 30s, at least those who listen to Paano Ba To, they aspire to that. They know it's not going to be overnight. They know it's a process. What would your advice be to achieving that peace and joy, contentment in life?
Every morning you can choose joy. And why is that? It's whether you have done for that day what you should be doing. Okay. And so, if you do what you want to, if you do what you have to do on that day, mahimbing ang tulog mo kasi ginawa mo na eh. You did all the best. Yung sinasabi mo dyan, bahala ka na Diyos. Because you did all your best. And then at night, okay, you sleep well because you did the best you can. Ano pang hihingi ng Diyos? Diba? So for those who are listening, how do you find joy? Choose joy. Every morning you can choose, ay naku, visit. the lies, if you're choose to be, masungit or things like that, it will show on your face. Okay, how do you find joy? I think you have to search for it. And then, sa akin, so I'll tell myself, I have faith in God that if I follow His way, everything will be all right. Sinasabi ko nga ito in all my, everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end. Okay, I transfer it to St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. All things work together unto good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. So for those who are still searching, go back to your faith. Okay, balikan mo. And study for yourself. Read parts of the Bible. Every day, meron bang, hindi ba, merong misa? Okay? Read parts of it and then stay with it for a while. Be quiet. Be still and know that I am God. So, every now and then, sa kadamihan ng ginagawa mo, just be quiet for maybe 2-3 minutes. Okay? Then, eventually, you'll find joy.
That's so beautifully said. Thank you for sharing that. An important reminder to everyone in the thick of 2026, trying to chase goals, deadlines, and everything. That's so important to be still. As a last question that I wanted to ask you, a few years back, I had a series here in Paano Ba To called Legends Only. Two of your closest Pinoy friends were featured there, Tito Boy and Karen. They're also here at the back of the book. And definitely, if you had been in the country at this time, you've super fit this series, Legends Only. I interview people who are legendary in their field in hopes of inspiring the person watching or listening that we're all ordinary, except that these people chose to do something extraordinary. So with that, in that series, I asked everyone the same question at the end, which I would like to ask you. And that is, what is your advice to everyone watching and listening to this to find what they are meant to do and the path that they are meant to take?
Wow, that's hard.
It's hard.
Two words diverge in the food. And two roads diverge in the road. And I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. That's a poem by Robert Frost.
Yes.
So siguro sa inyo, merong two roads that you have to choose. Okay? Stay in one road for a day. Imagine how it will be. Stay in another road for a day and imagine it will be. And one of those roads, you will feel better. That's the road you take.
I love that. Thank you so much, Lloyda. It was an absolute pleasure to get to sit down with you. Maraming salamat for everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Paano Ba To? The podcast is created and hosted by me, Bianca Gonzalez, with podcast producer Anika Neri and edited by Paolo Halili. We would love for you to be part of our community of supers. If you are on Spotify, please click the follow button. Or if you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to this channel. We also have our socials. On Instagram, we are at Paano Ba To. On TikTok, at Ask Paano Ba To. And our private Facebook group, the Paano Ba To Super Group. Till our next episode, stay super, supers!